Hello, I'm Matt Vance, Superintendent of Rush County Schools. The purpose of this video today is to share some information with you about our reentry plan for the fall of 2020. But I want to take a second first off to just thank everyone one more time for all their assistance during this past spring. I sincerely appreciate the work of our students, staff, and families to get us through the period of time during the closure. I know it was not ideal for anyone, but I greatly appreciate everyone's assistance. So now let's talk about the reentry plan a little bit. First off, it's posted on our website. It has been since the last week of June. The goal was to get that out in June to give everyone time to review it, to give us time during the month of July to adjust it as needed. Please keep in mind the plan is a continuous work in progress and is always subject to change. But a few things I want to hit on the plan as we get started and we get closer to the start of the school year. Number one is, please remember the number one goal of our plan is to keep all of our students and staff safe and healthy. So therefore, as we go through this fall and we'll look at our plan and continue to go forward, that is our goal and that's what we want to make sure we're doing. So number one, when you look at our goal, please keep in mind the symptoms of COVID-19, specifically fever of 100 degrees, 0.4 or higher, cough, shortness of breath, chills, a new loss of taste or smell. Those are just to name a few. If you have any of those symptoms, please do not enter any of our buildings at any time. Please make sure you seek the appropriate medical attention and do not enter our buildings if you have any of those symptoms or the other symptoms that have been put out for COVID-19. Protocols are in place for those that test positive, so please review our plan for those. And also, if you're within close contact, which close contact is defined within 6 feet of someone for 15 minutes or longer, if you have other people test in your household that might test positive, there are all kinds of different scenarios in our plan that may affect certain situations. So please review those. And again, we're always here to assist you as we go forward. When a positive test is determined, we'll work with our local health department to determine the appropriate steps to take. That's very important to remember also. And again, we may look at those and try to define or try to determine who was within that close contact range. So again, it's very important that we look at the plan. It is on our website, like I said, and you know the appropriate protocol to take. But again, if at any time you have the symptoms, please do not send your child to school, or employees, please do not come to school. That's very important. Big topic with this whole reentry for schools is the use of masks or face coverings. At this point in time, masks are not required. However, our plan does say some situations could warrant where masks will be required. An example of that could be if we have a teacher that maybe is high risk, we may require masks in that classroom. Could be a bus driver, high risk, we may require masks on that bus. So there may be some situations where masks are required. They're strongly recommended, but at this point in time, they're not required except for maybe certain situations. So that's very important to remember also. Along with that, we will have a mask available for each student and staff member. I will tell you, we will not have multiple masks available. So it's very important to know that if you do need a mask or want a mask, we can give everyone one, but we cannot give everyone several. So we do ask parents to please help get masks for your child and help in that situation as well. But again, we'll do the best we can, and we will give at least one mask per child and per employee. Social distancing, another topic, of course, that we need to address, and it is our plan. Very tough to do, but we will do the best we can in our schools and our buses and in our cafeterias. Kind of the 6-foot rule is hard to do in our classrooms, but we will have our classrooms designed the best way we possibly can to have desks as far apart as possible, and also at the same time have them facing the same direction. A lot of different steps we're taking there to try to maintain as much social distancing as we possibly can. But that's one of those things too that we need assistance from everyone with that as well. Hand washing and use of hand sanitizer is vital. And we will encourage students and staff to wash their hands many times during the day. We also have plenty of sanitizer stations around our facilities, and we strongly encourage everyone to use that, and we will make mandatory breaks during the day also. With that is when students that do ride the bus and they come to school, they will be immediately sent to a sanitizer station to wash their hands or bathroom to wash their hands upon entry in our buildings. So that's another step we're taking. Going along with that in terms of transportation, once again, masks or face coverings are strongly recommended. There could be some situations where they are required on buses as well. We really do want to encourage parents as often as possible, or in as many situations as possible, to find alternate means to get their child to school. We want to try to alleviate the crowded buses the best we can. We will look at that once we get started and try to make adjustments to our routes to keep the buses as small as we can in terms of numbers. But anyone that, if possible, if you can find alternate means to get your child to school, that would really help us in terms of social distancing on the buses. So again, we're still running our bus routes. We're not telling you that we won't transport your child, but I just want to make sure everyone knows that if possible, that would really help us out, especially keep our bus numbers low and try to keep them so we keep students as spread out as possible. Another thing with transportation that's in our plan, the one thing the state guidelines suggest is that we keep students just to one route. It helps us in terms of keeping our buses clean. Our buses will be cleaned after every route and sanitized, but the state recommended that. What we did with our plan is we said, okay, let's try to keep students to one AM route and one PM route. So therefore, we do understand families have different needs, and sometimes they may need a different route. We'll work with you on that the best we can, but we really want to limit the amount of routes children are on. So that's very important to remember also. In terms of food service, in our cafeterias, they're going to look quite a bit different too, of course. Just about every building has added at least one lunch period. Maybe not everyone, but some have had to try to spread out the numbers in our cafeterias. You will also see where in most of them there'll be fewer sitting at the tables. So we're trying to do some steps in our cafeterias to keep social distancing the best we can as well. Along with our cafeterias too, the food service preparation will be different, and again, that will meet the appropriate guidelines as well. So obviously we're still serving meals like we always have, but the way that's going to look will be a little different. And again, we will have smaller numbers in our cafeterias as well. Water fountains are shut off, and so we do encourage students to bring in water bottles with them. We will have means in each building to get children water when they need it, especially early on in the school year. With it being warm out, we worry about recess and so forth. So we will have water available, but we strongly encourage water to be brought in with the students. Parents, we understand many are concerned about sending children back to school. It is a difficult time. Many children we know are high risk. If you have special needs in special situations and you think you may need an alternative plan, please contact your principal. We will work with you. It's very important that we keep educating children. We think the whole school setting is very important for children, but we do understand there are some cases where we may need to look for something different. If so, please talk to your principal and we will work with you. Short-term closures, I just want to talk about that briefly too. It's very possible that we could, depending on how this fall goes, there could be some times where we have to look at short-term closures. That's not our goal, but I want to make sure everyone's ready for that. So please have a plan in place. Just like with weather closings and so forth, please have a plan in place if we have to do a short-term closure because of our numbers of absenteeism of our students or staff could get to a certain point where we need to do a short-term closure. In that case, we would go with e-learning during that time. And of course, we would communicate that appropriately. But I just want to remind everyone, with weather, we're always thinking of closures. Also be thinking of closures, please, with this, and have a plan in place. Registration will begin on Monday, July 20th, with online registration. This year, we're not going to have registration times at the buildings like we have in the past. We really encourage everyone to do online registration. If for some reason you can't do online registration or just don't want to, you can call your school and get an appointment. But again, online registration starts Monday, July 20th. It's very important we know who all is coming back and what grade levels and so forth. That's key for our staffing and just our overall preparation. But again, if you need to go to the building to register, please contact the school and set up an appointment. If anytime you have any questions, please feel free to contact your child's principal or myself. We're always here to help, and we want to make sure that we are doing the best we possibly can, again, keeping everyone safe and secure and healthy. But at the same time, we want to make sure we're here for you to answer any questions you may have. Later, at some point in time this week, there's a survey coming out to parents. What we want to do with surveys we did a survey after e-learning to get feedback, which helped us prepare if we have to go e-learning again. And now that we've done our plan, we want feedback on our plan. Again, we can adjust it as we go, but we feel like that's very important. We're trying not to do too many surveys. So we want to make sure we do just a few select targeted surveys to try to get as much feedback as possible. So another survey is coming out. We really need your input on what you think, feelings you have, so forth. So that's coming out this week as well. So please take a few minutes to fill it out and give us your feedback, and that will really help us with our planning as we go forward. Again, remember, our plan is subject to change. We just want to get everything out so everyone knows where we are with everything. In closing, once again, I just thank you for all your cooperation, and I'm really looking forward to the school year. I can't wait to get our students and staff back. I really missed everyone during the last half of March, April, and May, and all summer. It was great to have graduation this past Friday night at Henshaw Field and see our seniors and some of our parents and community people. But it's really important we get back to school and get everyone back in the routine. Please keep in mind, we're all in this together, and we'll do everything we can to help your child and our employees and everyone be successful. So please contact us with questions, and I really look forward to seeing everyone on August 4th and 5th. Thank you very much, and have a great day.